That'd be insane. Maybe like 50 seconds. I don't know.
Extremely high, but as we were saying in the map update, now we're moving on to Lotus. And speaking about comfortability,
is there a prize for the show match? No, right?
No.
Just clout.
Just for fun.
Clout match.
I'm saying yes. Are you looking for a new career?
The 16 post plants that they won, that is a 75%. Do not let that spike go down. And in the other side, when Vitality goes into the attack, in the one time that they played the Lotus, they won 100% of the post plant.
Jojima really heated up at that end of the last game. He's back on the Yoru here on a map he's always been good on. GV, he has a chance to get revenge on Durka for eliminating him in the Tokyo finals.
All right, well, let's find out if this one goes the distance and send it back over to my fellow foreheads for the call.
Thank you very much, GB, and the rest of the crew. Yeah, excited to get into this one. Sure there was no ill-meaning comments from the foreheads one.
Yeah, you're about to join the bold crew, I reckon.
Yeah,
give it 5 years.
I'm getting close. It's those British genetics.
Yeah.
It creeps up for us all. It really does.
Let's have a look at this map then. So we've seen plenty from these two teams. Vitality taking a bit more of the older approach, I would say, to the map, but still performing to an excellent level. And they've anticipated this pistol.
It's a 5-player stack. It's a squeeze occurring though, but held down by Leaf. Okay, Ghost in hand. Short work of Durka. Up through the gut though. Vitality not willing to slow down, but they are walking up into a few of these players, and there's that damage done. Yeah, full line into the salvos. There's nowhere to hide, nowhere to run if you are Kicks. Drop down, but there's that deep push out, but honestly, might be too little too late.
Vitality are going to need something incredible. It would be this guy on the flank here.
Safe. Okay.
Catches onto Leaf. Now there's going to be pressure behind. Eyes, heads, got to be turned from Jonah. Oh no, they take the aggressive option instead, actually. Dominating waterfall control in a 4v2, but getting pinched from both ends.
Definitely one option for you. Jorgamo whips his way around to the corner and turning alongside it. It's clean movement. Brings it to a 1v2 though. Definitely winnable for Safe into this spot, and he's managed to creep forwards past side angles. Trent just jiggling. He knows the win cons. He's running away because he's got the salvos back online. As soon as he hears that first tap, he knows he's going to be able to deny. It's all to play with, all to work with. Safe still. Rocking a hard place is how I described it earlier. Don't think it was for him in particular, but it does mean that G2 going to be able to steal away here. Pistol round. Steal probably the wrong term to use as well. They were looking like they were in control from beginning to end, to be honest.
They certainly were. It was Leaf that opened it. The guy that looked like he came online in the midst of Bind. Found that dominant performance, the form again, that just looks so scary. We've seen outrageous Lotus defense plays. Usually on defense, to be honest, with him being able to find the timings to push out. But here on the attack side, grabs the opener with the Ghost. And that's G2 winning an important pistol. I say important though, Vitality won both of them on Bind. The Des was talking about it, both of the pistols and the bonuses, and G2 still came out the win in OT.
Yeah.
G2 could not win a single pistol against the game they played with EDG. 6 out of 6 went to Edward Gaming. It has been an area they've been struggling a little bit, despite their great rifle performances.
Definitely so. It's like playing Valorant on hard mode. No pistol round win, don't snowball. Keep the momentum going with ultimates, with potential weaponry as well.
You see here Jorgamo trying to get information over towards C. He's using a jump peek technique here. Now drone finds 2 of them.
Plus 2.
Trying to trigger out a trap play. Jorg playing way ahead of the rest of his team. Okay. Just because he's always got the opportunity to escape. He doesn't pull the escape lever. He does end up going down. But I think he's generated an advantage for his team that they should be able to convert. But you'll see a lot of this. If Vitality have got trap plays around the map, Jorgamo goes in first to try to defuse it. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, that he's got such bad first death per round stats.
Sure.
Is because he's playing the bomb defusal agent.
I mean, he's the sacrificial lamb. They send it him, they sacrifice him, and they hope they win the round. Usually ends up being the case here. Vitality have got players tucked down onto the side, and that's a good paranoia at that, and a good swing on top of it. Opening picks found, but players are weak as anything, and that Marshall in the hands of Leaf. will make it look filthy. Still, Guardian, anything could happen, especially if they line up just right. Kicks, smoke off to the side, but we're safe falling. Exchanging the weaponry, trade hands multiple times over the course of this round, yet still, it's G2 on top with 3 players living.
Not quite where Kicks wanted the smoke to go. He couldn't get an angle where you could tap and make it really feel believable. G2 still had that line of sight from tree. Doing a little bit of damage though to G2's economy, making the bonus round a tad worse. It's been a hot minute since we've seen a G2 bonus though.
I know.
They've just been struggling with the pistols so much in a lot of their matches here.
Here's a skirmish for you, potentially at least. We want to lead with a rubble fight.
It's also another opportunity where you can just send Jorg in, or Jorg and Valid both, because they have the opportunity to escape.
Kicks. He's gone up top. Hold on.
They don't
flash
know.
into the face. They don't know at all. I mean, either side just unaware of the fact that he was perched up onto the high ground. Valin,
There.
quick to make himself known to Vitality, and that's a rifle handed over on top of it. Aftershock is good. Backing away, Durka. A couple of cheeky peeks himself, and Jorg, like you said, he's got the gate crash, so gets information, gets out.
Leafs pushed himself into an aggressive position. Loves lurking on this map. Always got to try to keep an eye on where he is. Calling for reinforcements to go for the B pop, and Safe is here, but gets dealt with so snappy.
Still out wide. It's all on Les to do the most into that spot, and the trade is instantaneous here by G2. Opens it up for an easy plan onto the B side. Haunt, not necessary to be dealt with as well. There was no tags, no connections onto the G2 players, and with Vitality in this spot, Durka Tret's got to be thinking about saving.
Gutting kind of feeling. Durka's so used to having massive impact in these kind of rounds, and Valin has been able to call on their attack side around Durka. We haven't really been saying his name anywhere near as much as I was expecting, and it's not because, in my opinion, he's having a bad performance. I think it's because Valin's finding these gaps, these openings, to try to abuse Vitality's defensive setups. If you think back to Bind, the amount that they were just hammering B, XX with huge amounts of util, but Durka's playing the floater and couldn't quite get in position for early fights. Here, I mean, what is, what is going on at this point?
It's a weird round, isn't it?
It is very strange, actually, because if you're going to do some kind of re-clear over towards Rubble, you'd expect there to be a lot of util used or some way, someone to help Kicks.
Yeah.
In theory, that should just be an instant death from Kicks when he takes that teleport. They must have thought that there wasn't a chance Valin could be across. Don't know how they were that confident, though. Leaf's got an Outlaw staring into 3 people with light armor. Another Leaf classic.
Fault line though. Les will have to respect it.
Safe has light armor.
Okay. Walls in his face though, so Safe, once he doesn't open himself up too wide here, should be safe. And a bit of B presence, posturing here by G2. Make sure you can vacuum up the orbs. Get a bit closer to the ults.
Vitality need to be doing some hunt the lurker kind of protocols, and here they go.
Oh well, okay, Jonah P. No worries at all, man. Steady hand, steady aim. You knew that the Haunt was going to be dealt with.
Slightly too late on that, or too early, I suppose you could say, but exactly as the rest of G2 were crossing behind.
Thorns down.
ADS though, that's Safe, just trying to answer back in any way possible form that he can, but it's an onslaught that's going to be facing him. Drops himself down. It's a hard anchor position from Safe. He's got to get value into this spot. Util out into the hands, but return of the fire is there. Leaf sees it. Tantalizing upgrade onto the floor, and he's going to be receiving the rifle on top of him, but Kicks with the smoke in. He's running rings around them. He's already found himself 2. TP cuts it south across, and surely he's done enough to potentially get this round win for Vitality. He's brought it to a 2 versus 2.
Still have the paranoia to work off as well. Could hit both of these players in tree. Throw the paranoia, allow Les to open door. What are they going for here? What's the combo play?
Shadows traveling.
Splitting up for the time being. Paranoia, that's a double blind. Near-sighted as both of them. They're just trying to cut sound cues away. Keep a series of unknowns into the play, but Jonah P forced to reveal his hand. It's 3 in a round 4, and will he get the 4? Yes, he will!
You couldn't get better crosshair placement there from Jonah. He still had Aftershock and Stun to play off the back of. They're expecting Jonah to be cowering, playing the supportive breach style. No, I must use my util. I must wait for them to tap. Jonah, no. He's going to kill both of the players hunting for him on the lurk, and then he's going to finish out by just holding an angle at the end. His aim's been great this tournament. Been picking up the Guardian in a bunch of rounds and still hitting great shots.
Wake up in the morning.
Don't know whether we announced it, but Jonah P is going to be doing the Champs intro this year. A Red Bull clutch for him.
I think that's incredibly indicative, I think, of just the overall attitude for G2, though, coming into this game.
The thing is, Vitality are the same way. Whenever we've listened to the Vitality comms, Safe is always, you know, doing some kind of tune or hyping up his team, smiling, laughing.
I think that's what you get out of a lot of teams, in our top 4 at least now, is that cold confidence. If the going gets rough, they're never quite worried. I mean, the going is definitely not rough right now for G2. They're leading 4-0 and leading the series 1-0. But I think both of these teams have got that in common, that just trait underlying that they are always capable, and they know themselves that they can win a map, even if it's going poorly for them.
While we've got an eco round here, well, actually, there's going to be a potential skirmish over towards A Rubble. So let's take a look at this first of all, and then I'll tell you my little anecdote.
Yeah. I'm ready for it. If this is a terrible fight, you just go and just start talking, mate. Just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're not really taking the engagement here. Durka, though, has forced up a Vandal, a Bulldog. Might be looking to try to force the issue just a little bit. It's so difficult to get past Leaf, though, when he has the Outlaw in this spot.
Keep smoke. He just spotted it. Belly a shoulder, and Leaf's out of there, man.
He saves a bullet as well.
He knows that there's danger in the air. Oh my god! Just reacts off to the side, but wasn't expecting that one. And okay, Sheriff, quick word. Yes! My goodness!
Where's he pulled that from? He was at 145 range for some of those as well. He wasn't even one-shotting.
That's pure insanity. Straight up the gut, right what Vitality needed.
Leaf was calling for help. Just to clear kicks. And in the scramble, they forgot. They forgot about Les. They thought they dodged this guy when he got exported to EMEA this year. Now he's back to haunt the Americas players.
30 seconds left.
Down to Jorgamo. He's got to go walkabouts here, but oh my. Swarmed quickly.
We're all just waiting for the replay.
Yeah.
It's a MasterCard Thrifty. We gotta see it. What happened there? Leaf's thinking about it for a moment, and then as he walks into kicks, Les walks up. Oh my. Oh! The first and third kill are close enough to be one-shots, and then Valin gets 145.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Disbelief from Valin. How has he done that?
That's what you get from Les. Just talking about it prior. That undefinable element of just, I don't know, being ice cold, I guess. Every round's winnable, they know it. On a util though, it's going to be expended.
Huge amount of damage actually though too. Durka dropped down to 20 kicks. He's on 72 health. They got flashed and stunned into salvos.
ADS up safe. There's going to be a wall in his face.
Who's next?
On a tap off instinct. As soon as he hears the ult pop though, he knows that, okay, well, there's a bit of danger here. One's going to be used to slow them all the way down. And Jorgamo's just hoping and hunting for a bit of information, but he's missed the B main player. And if he wants to go for this one, yep, he's exited out and right from the side. Les strikes back once more. Armageddon paves the way. But Snakebite to slow down the approach. Vitality have got this one under complete control.
But they're going back into kicks here. Softened up from earlier. Only 70 HP. Dies to 2 Vandal bullets and already has taken 1.
God almighty, he's just ducking his way out of a variety of the bullets. Twists and turns into this round. Story being told by G2, but they might not like it. Aftershock up close and personal, and Leaf is the one to try and capitalize. Snakebite round to the side and a roll in thunder. Why not? Throw it into the mix, but you've been slowed down to a crawl and creeping around from behind. It's safe. He reveals the hand anyway. Steel Garden, let loose, and random spray paves the way, wins the day. Even a nade running rampant, yet somehow G2, how the hell have they done this? They forced Trex into a 1v2. Slides to tap, no bullets left. He needs to try and find a fight early on, walking right in, and Jonah P just does not lose these.
The timing fights in the middle of the pit, they just went perfectly for G2. Jonah walked out, took a swing, pushes his shoulder up against the wall, and spots two heads perfectly lined up. And then on the other side of things, a jump through the pit with a shorty manages to find Trent to kill. This is a 2v5. The first death to a nade, that's unlucky. Oh. And then look at that lineup, and this jump through. Crazy.
Absurd work from G2.
And they don't need these. This is one of the first halves that they've been able to get off to a lightning hot start.
When your form's good, you don't slow down.
And they're getting everything.
Yeah.
Every kind of coin flip fight is going their direction. The spams through the smoke.
They've been passing around the horseshoe.
It feels like it. Yeah. Take down Vitality, you got to be good, and sometimes I guess you got to be a little lucky. And G2, they're looking on fire right now.
Got it both. Re-exploration by Les, instant punish with a bullet to the head. Out wide, door opened. And bodies dropped, toppled.
They are destroying the EMEA representatives here in the first round of the playoffs. This is not like Bind, a back and forth affair. This is destruction.
Yeah.
This is them flexing the superior power of their composition as well, I think. And also Valen being able to make the difference in the IGL department. It's credit to Vitality that we've not seen that at any point so far this year. A reminder that this team is 6-0 since forming this version of the Vitality Super Team. If G2 are able to close this out, and they're looking good for it, it would be Vitality's first loss of the year. The first loss with this roster, with Durka and Les joining the team. Many others have tried. Top teams, top IGLs. It's taken something pretty special today to put the pressure onto them and make it seem like a possibility. Vitality have come back from scorelines like this before, though. I believe it was map 3 against DRX, where they were down something like 6-2 and had to recover, ran it all the way back. So they need to get back on the board early on. Their only round so far is that triple headshot play from Les.
The caliber of players, you're going to get plays like that occasionally, but the trouble is you just need a bit extra against G2 because it's a strategy. They've got them matched.
Well, the two top performing players for Vitality in this tournament so far have been Durka and Trex. They only have 2 kills between them. Here, Durka flies forward with one of only 2 hero rifles, trying to make the difference.
Full line, salvos, and okay, pulls out the O's, and somehow still gets away with a pick.
That's ridiculous.
The entire premise of that fight by G2 was just, okay, we're going to refight, we're going to posture, we hit the ult, we're going to exit out, we don't want to commit into it. And somehow, they still get a pick.
And they waste the showstopper completely. They have taken 30 seconds in the round, though. And if they head over here towards the C site, it's got some of the Vice util and one of the hero rifles.
Jorgemont straight in there, Les trying to make the most of it with his crosshair placement and precision. It's the name of the game for a player like him. It's good for that one. Found it potentially even footing for his team to walk into this, but not quite in the gun category. And okay, well, leave.
Buying time for Durka's flank.
That's the important thing. Durka wrapping around with that rifle in hand. Might get open access, and yes, he does. So leave falls, safe, follows through!
2 rounds on the board for Vitality, both off the back of triple Sheriff shots. The Durka flank, though, was expertly orchestrated, and Vitality looked more in control in that round after dropping kicks, despite the fact it is still the MasterCard Thrifty coming through. If these are the rounds that Vitality are getting, it's still going to be a very difficult battle out here. How did they manage to even get this kill in? They just did so much damage. Kicks slow to be able to escape. Already took the damage from the salvo. But it's Vitality still who come away with the round. Great shots from Safe.
That's beautiful.
Oh! God damn!
And that's what you get with this Vitality team. They've been crafted. It's a bespokely built team for trophies, accolades, titles. Despite the fact that they've got their eyes on the prize, which is Champs itself. That is a fast beginning by G2. Eager to take control towards B main and even potentially flip the door. Get a bit of clearance now going in towards C. Les will have to respect that when he backs away soon enough.
But Vitality have full rubble control here. So if G2 are not planning to do something quick on the early round, which they're clearly not, we're at the minute mark, they're going to find it more difficult.
Bait and switch by Vitality. Leaf's going to hear the jump spot. He thinks it's just the one. Still.
Do not want to give away a sound cue here.
There's thorns, detted, there's spam coming your way, and a wall's dropped down, but luckily, Kix has provided that smoke prior.
Ren, they're about to fight Mount off the horn. No, they decided to back it up.
The difficult one. The wall going to be popped open. Somehow Leaf wins out that fight. There's options mounting up. Here for G2, they can take it into many different directions here, but they set the sights over towards C with only 30 seconds left.
Yeah, and Vitality still have 3 players here. A Vice ultimate, Fade ult.
Here's the difficulty. How the hell do you chew through this? You can't exactly bide your time and wait this one out. Got to try and just send it. Take the fight anyway. Pistols in hand and the timing has been caught. And right there, you're in the shadow realm at that point, Valorant. Not ready for the fight that's going to be coming your way. Les, Drex, Safe, all being bought that time to play into the side. And with the Nightfall hot on their heels, Jonah P is forced to try and get that plant down. And you got to win that one out. Drop down with a spike in their laps. This is a Vitality round, all sealed up nice and pretty.
They are starting to come back into this game. Crucially, Durka and Kix having control over Rubble gave them the right defensive read on what was going on. And also, we were kind of focused on the A Rubble reclear from Leaf, but at the same time, they were thinking about going for a double fight. They had Safe and Les grouped up with a Haunt over the top, thinking that they wanted to go for a Mount reclear. When the Haunt got broken, Vitality called it off. If they'd gone for that, they might have lost the round outright then and there. And instead, they had the patience to hold on, keep the stack on the C site, and win it out through good macro play.
Vitality able to drag themselves ever so close to potentially evening up this half.
This round, though, Vitality not controlling Rubble. Looking over towards Mound instead, so Kix is going to inform the stack over towards B and A.
The refight flash, but well, they're way ahead of it, aren't they? Oh my god, there's defense necessary, and it was ordered up onto a platter. Les is happy to oblige, and that sees his perfection in motion. Safe, happy to slam it down the court. Reload out into the open. There was no defense. There's no correction for that one here. It's an open A site with a plan going down now for Valorant.
Leafs on the backstab too. Nobody with Trex to try to clear this.
Pockets are playing.
Ideally, you want to go and clear over towards Rubble to start this retake.
Brawler Thunder cuts this one up. It's for Leaf to potentially take a peek and fight out towards stairs. Wins it out. It's labored, it's precarious, but he plays his life in the end because he sees it and hears it. Trex in his face. It's a necessary one, but he's causing a distraction and the backstab play. This is off the charts with the game IQ. It's buying time and win con possibilities for Valen, but he's just one man. 31 health. Leaf needs to win these ones out. Clearance, it's all about the timing and takes the peak with the smoke in play. Kicks are sticking all the way. Spam and the run and gun just does not save you.
Great defense from Trex. He played that situation just as well as Leaf did. Waited, did not take a 1v1, pushed Leaf back as far as he possibly could. Both of them playing their life. And as soon as Trex realized that it was a bad fight that he was getting lured into, he calls for the rest of the team to accelerate on the retake and instead go towards site, put that Omen smoke down, start the defuse inside of it. This is now 3 rounds in a row that Vitality have got, and they are back in the game.
Nice! Nice! Let's go, guys, let's go.
And the biggest reason that Vitality are back into this one is because they've been able to lock down one of the sides. A couple of rounds ago, round 9, we saw them hold with Durka and Kix over towards Rubble. Round 10, we see Kix alone holding Mound, allowing the whole of the rest of the team to stack the other side of the map. It makes such a huge difference if they have the macro defense set up. G2 have got to do a slightly better job of being able to push these players back. now, as they go for this early round map control, they're going to be meeting Durka with an operator who is having a slow map right now, 2 and 8. I was giving credit earlier on to Valen for being able to call around Durka. I feel like at this point he actually has had a lot of these opportunities to get involved, and he's just not quite found his moment.
Struggling.
Bearing in mind he was coming into this looking like the best player in the world.
He might just get his time in the sun here and now. Guess what? A lot of bodies waiting for him on the other side of these barriers. As we already said, he's got the big boy gun.
Jorg has a Yoru ult, which is
line.
really difficult to op against.
TB forwards. Oh my, perfect peek there from Kicks. Seems the Horde to lay it down on top of it and gets out scot-free. Triple walk-up Vitality. 3 players on towards the C site for G2. Need kills, I think, to make this one a bit more winnable. And Durka, it's not one to over-peek. It's an off-angle, just being held in case there is that walk-up.
I mean, what's the timing on the Haunt here? Prowler sets him up.
Takes a peek. Takes the peek and takes the shot! Almost takes 2 of them out for it.
On the seas.
Oh my!
Oh, that's so good from Trex and Durka.
You wanted to see more from him. You're getting it here, and now he's tearing G2 to pieces.
There's nothing that Trent can do to salvage this one. Vitality needed that.
Vitality are raring to go. They want to set this guy up for another one. Why not?
4 in the round from Durka, 1 away from a showstopper, and a 5th on the board. Vitality doing such a good job of getting back in the game. And G2 tripping over themselves a little bit here. I think in this round, once Kix gets the opening kill against Jorgamo, you could kind of have a bit of a read of, all right, well, we know that the Omen is not posted up towards rubble. What if we try to accelerate the lurk on the A side of the map? And instead, they just stick to their guns over here. But Durka's so aggro. He disrespects Util so often with his op. He's an incredibly tough player to play against. They're going to do the same again.
Incredibly well orchestrated. Dimensional Drift, though, is one thing. And he's going to be spotting out 1, 2 players here. Fault line's going to be coming through. Exiting early! Kicks has broken his bloody ankles. It's up to the rest of G2 to see if they can do a bit more with this one. And Leaf does return with that 1 kill. Armageddon. Lay it down a little bit prior. It's going to be wasted, though. Trent not getting too much done with that one.
That is so sick. Kicks just TikToked him. He just
Yeah, he really
absolutely owned him. Safe though, go for a bit of a re-exploration here. They lost a lot of information over on the A side of the map, so Safe wants to pick some back up.
And right into his prime sightlines. Perfect timing with all that mid-round information that he gathered. He got a bit more than that, didn't he, though? Not just information. Kills, bodies toppling on the side of G2, and it leaves it just down to the 2, Trent and Leaf. They have the easier side to get themselves into. Kicks will at least be forced to respect a bit of this Util.
30 seconds left.
That sound cue's made, and now Stampede going to be occurring. Pit lay it down, why not? Might as well just throw everything into the mix to try and win this 1 round out. Orb through, Snakebite, and Trent spam down, spray down, Snakebite of his own. Leaf could be a miracle worker, but my God, how the hell do you tangle with this one? It's a Pit versus Pit. Heavy blight now, lay it down over towards the C site. Decay damage to pocket the play in. Players highlighted reload, ordered, and Kicks eager to chase him down. We end this one at 6-6. Vitality, they pull off absolute heroics to make it even here.
What a magical comeback. What a sick outplay from Kicks towards the end. Destroys Jorg. But the story of this is Vitality getting themselves back from 6-1.
Go ahead.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Save up to 80% on appliances with Coast Appliances clearance event. Come visit us at Coast Appliances or shop online for limited time deals. Our team of experts make it easy to find the perfect appliance for your home. From sleek refrigerators to washing machines, we've got you covered. For unbeatable prices and Canada's best selection of appliances, think Coast first.
It is not about how hard you work, it's how smart you manage your time. I used to think being busy meant I was productive, but all it did was leave me overwhelmed and falling further behind. That's when I started using a personal assistant app called Motion, and everything changed. Here's how it works. Instead of juggling endless to-do lists or wasting hours planning your day, you just input your tasks, deadlines, and priorities. The AI takes care of the rest. It automatically builds a custom schedule, blocking out specific time slots for each task. No more guessing what to do next or when to do it. It's all laid out for you. If you can't get to anything in time or something unexpected comes up, you don't have to panic. Motion reschedules your task instantly so you never miss a deadline. Since using Motion, I've stopped overworking, started focusing on what matters, and I've watched my productivity skyrocket. The truth? Success isn't about doing more, it's about doing it smarter. Try Motion for free today and take control of your time. Click the link below to get started.
And there are so many questions floating around Safe because he dominates regionally, and then he hasn't really been able to translate that into success at LAN. A lot of his teams have fallen off once they got to the biggest stage at the global event. And here, dispelling any choking narratives, being able to revive himself, revive the team as the leader and get back into things. What kind of pistol is he going to call here? They're looking to take a bit of mount control.
Oh, he's taking a bullet to the brain.
Trying to set himself up to be the win condition, but they've got double lurkers. Safe and less. Both detected, and G2 are not biting on this. A lot of the pressure was coming through on Mound, but with there being double lurkers, they're pretty convinced it's not going to be a 3-player exec into C. They're leaving Valin alone there.
2 stray shots. Catching onto less, excuse me. Orbs up. This is Vitality trying to fake. Potentially like the lurker still coming through, but the rest of the team straight back at it. Oh, Trent just sees it. Barrel poking wide. Reveals a hand here for Vitality, and now Util offloaded.
Fake pivot B. See if they can draw something out of Jorg or Jonah.
Players aren't budging though, not for now.
I mean,
okay, Durka.
It might not be a fake if Durka realizes there's no one here.
Not committing, he's got so much space. He's going to be calling for the rest of his team to just follow through behind him. Why not? Following the tailwind, because he's got so much bloody space, and Leaf left to see if he can contain and maintain composure. Out towards it, realizing it. They've given up the sight, and there's an angle here. It's a heavy lick Durka gives him, straight to the side of the head. He's going for more, man. Re-exploration, these timings that Durka's taking. Should have the page book of Team Liquid almost. They threw it out. Just gets caught onto the corner there. There's 3 players of G2 eager for a bit of a bloodbath now, out towards it. 4 steps forwards into the smoke kicks. Trying to be cheeky with it. The shots rattled off. Fire's going to be exchanged. G2, though, are the ones who are slowly edging this one out. Jonah P onto the defuse. Not even getting the half, but surely trust, defense necessary. A reload by Trex. He just needs to spam and stray shots to go his way. And it's not happening. Not today, not in that instance. G2 with a pistol round.
Double pistols going the way of G2 here. What a turnaround, what a difference compared to Bind. And it felt like Vitality had the macro. I mean, they completely exposed the way that G2 were holding B. They found that timing, Durka, with a beautiful lurk, but they took so much chip damage trying to hold in the post plan that eventually G2's pack mentality, their spacing perfect to whittle away the EMEA team's defense. And the spike goes down. Durka forces up an Outlaw, but doing this one a lot. G2 should have the read. 4 players buying full armor against this. They've been doing their homework.
Toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
There's a lot of the danger of the round. They could be facing, as you said, they've done their homework. Jorgum. Oh! Okay, overstays his welcome. Cuts up towards Rubble, and Jonah P very much alone when you're pressing forwards like that. Looking to potentially defend the gun. The Guardian was dropped down. Too late for that, though.
And if you allow Durka to get too many, he's going to be looking up.
Might be getting back in. I'm sure they're all just taking it nice and slow and steady.
Well,
yep,
yeah.
see? Oh, we didn't miss too much.
Thankfully they are.
All good.
Here's a little smoke for Leaf to play inside.
Or just granted him a potential gift. His own teammate is setting that one up, so Leaf dominating it nice and early.
Safe might call the acceleration here, considering that they pushed all the way out through Mound. Should be a timing.
Pixel angle. Going to P, feeling the heat, feeling the pressure. It's definitely being turned up against him now, and he's going to try and hold it down towards the back of the side. And shots fired. Kicks returns it. Straight back at him, straight towards the back of the side, but bullets to the back for Trex. He was just none the wiser into that spot there. And Kicks, head on a swivel, time running short, pushed out into the open, to the arms of Leaf.
A lot of damage done. Everybody on G2 bought into that round, making sure that they would not get caught by Durka's Outlaw. They get the round win, but it's pretty big economical damage that Vitality have been able to do. And Durka's 2 away from a showstopper, so I don't think he'll mind coming into this one with a Bulldog. I mean, it's probably a good idea for someone else to
guys.
drop him a Phantom, but...
Safe's done it.
Look at how rough this bonus round is.
Yeah.
Leaf do the same thing, going for the Outlaw purchase. 3 players actually with light armor that you might be able to snack on.
Less. Barely gets a handle on the drone.
G2 playing a bit of a pack system over towards B, leaning A, trying to drive people into Leaf, and that is where Vitality are going.
Oh boy, here it is. Time to shine, son. Step up to the challenge, step up to the mark, and he's not shy, is he? Still, it's Les who takes that swing, and he was the one who was healthy with the armor. The only other player that could have taken that fight. Discipline in the moment, but now, oh, double face, triple face by G2. Trex just catches wind of it, backs himself away. Put a bit of a wedge in through the middle of the map, and Vitality are forced to slow it down and re-clear it because the spike is in the hands of Trex.
Valen's made the right call here.
And walkabouts again. Nice and active. We'll see if Safe, though, can put a stop to it. He's only got the Stinger into his hands. Spike exchange and dropped around. It's going to be the fault line in through the corner. How well thought out is this util?
30 seconds.
Can't step forward too much here, but like you said, 30 seconds time. Running against them here, giving up a lot of space. It's a angle off to the side, and Jonah B's looking around all over the bloody place. Trent takes a peek from on high. Cuts Durka straight out the picture. 15 seconds. Vitality got to get a move on, and they need to defend this spot and position. It's a safe plan. Nothing to posture this one back. It's a 3v3, and Kicks are on 10 HP taking this fight. Surely not as ideal. I mean, he's going to be calling now for Safe. Joining him. In hands, but listen, bullets answered right back. Through the wall and more. Up through the top, needs to be a defense. Oh, Jog is hitting absolute waldies and a double face. Oh my! It's filthy work, man.
So much damage done at the start of the round. In some sense, it's picture perfect the way that they deal with Leaf's Outlaw, because they allow the 2 players with full armor to tank it. But that drops everybody, like, the 2 players with full armor are then on 10 HP, and you're trying to convert with a player advantage, but with a health disadvantage, and once more getting chipped down by G2.
Round like that, I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard the audience grow.
It's very similar to the pistol, where Vitality get themselves into a good position but can't hold on in the post plan. G2's B retakes have been very slow but very controlled. I wouldn't be wanting to end B if I was Vitality, but they're going to send it again on the eco. Very classic play.
Outlaws rattled off, fired off. Jonah P stands and delivers. Off to the side, TP in, but there's no one else to play off the back of that one, so the damage done, and you can mow them all down. It's too predictable and it's too easy when you play like that into the hands of G2.
The pressure, the squeeze is on Vitality now. It's almost identical to the first half. G2, they've won the pistol. They've won a bonus. They're running away with things. We need to see the same adjustment that we saw in that first half, in the second quarter from Vitality. Where is the adjustment? What kind of attack strats can you pull out of the bag? What kind of big plays can you get from individuals like Les or like Safe to get back into this game? 4-round gap. And Vitality take a tactical timeout to discuss just the questions I've been raising.
How do you find a way back in? I mean, for the first half, it was those hero moments. Less than safe, just going absolutely demonic with the sheriffs in hand. Heavy ass, though.
Durka has started coming online. He's got his head in his hands at the moment, but he started creeping up the scoreboard a little bit. He's 10 and 13. They're gonna need him to be entering like he was earlier on in the tournament. He was lights out, utterly dominant in the first kill department. He was still dying first quite a bit, but he was just delivering them first kill after first kill after first kill. Vitality desperately need it here. It's not an elimination game, but it's a big one. You want to stay in the upper bracket for a tournament like this. There's only 4 teams left in the playoffs. And that double map veto advantage, it might feel like a long way off, but if you're either of these 2 teams, you're wanting to get to the grand finals and you want to get there through the upper bracket so you don't have to face a massive map pool problem.
It's huge. It's going to be on their minds. And a vital one for Vitality. Outlaws revealed. Playing in Jorgamo, bait and switch. Should be a level of awareness here. Yes, there is.
What a flick.
Crosshair placement wasn't quite ideal for Jorgamo to take that one, but you're absolutely right, Josh. I mean, Durka, almost a hospital flick is what it looked like, but
My blind is dead.
definitely adjusted in time. Here's a showstopper. Let's loose. And finds a body. Leaf, there's no retreat from that one. And my God! He's running rampant. Seems like every time Vitality get into a timeout, Josh, and you ask for more, you ask for that step up from Durka, he's ready to shut you up.
He did the same thing on Bind, didn't he? Where he needed to come alive, and he instantly responded with a phenomenal round. He's just done it again. It's not the same level of consistency necessarily that we've seen from him earlier in the year, but he's there in big moments to help Vitality muscle through. Going hunting again, seeing if he can get up to another showstopper.
Yeah, sure, why not?
And any kind of damage here is decent, safe, and less. Still have a little bit of money, so as long as they don't lose more than 2 rifles, they're gonna be fine. And you're not worried about doing stuff like building up the Rolling Thunder. Jonah P's already got that one online. Yeah. 7th for Vitality, getting it on the board. Really very precise entry. And then the Haunt catching Leaf.
Beautiful all round. Questions were asked of him.
Now Jonah P is coming into the next round, Brent, with an Odin. And that's going to apply a lot of pressure to anybody that tries to lurk over on towards A. Les has been doing this quite a lot. I saw him start the round over there, and then he walked back over to the rest of his team.
G2 eager to draw blood. They want to try and take the fight forwards, but Jordan was the one going to be backing away. Bit of a retreat. Goal hopefully to pull some util out. Force Vitality to clear out towards Mound, which looks like they've done relatively successfully.
Can Vitality re-clear over towards Rubble and push Val and Jonah P away? It's tough. Anytime this Viper Wall goes up, Jonah P is going to be trying to spam it. To be honest, he's running a little short of bullets, though. He'll be able to do 1 wave of heavy spam, and then this Odin's going to be more of a liability.
Attempt to pre-fire onto that space. Conventional drift to re-clear out towards Mound on top of it. So Joel gets the info, he spots out less.
And he plays Leaf forwards into the corner.
Oh, the bait. That's unbelievable.
Same spot Jorg got cleared from before, though.
Level of awareness still here, but they just take the initiative and they take the fight straight to them still. Vitality of players lagging behind, and they just played anti-flash as a result of the positioning, and Jonah P has got a few more ults to spare. Rolling Thunder, Armageddon, offload it, Salvos at your feet. There is no safety. You cannot survive that one. It's an onslaught coming your way, and G2 find themselves with a player advantage now in a potential retake. They're happy to play it with pack mentality, group up together, give Vitality the site, give them the space.
Durka's actually got great info, though, because he controls Waterfall. So as this comes through, they're going to know that all 3 players are coming from in front.
Might be all on Durka to this point. Nightfall expended, aftershock into the side. Durka draws blood, finds the one, barrel spoken wide, Trex with the other, and leaves it down to Jonah P. Bit of spam, Odin, not the weapon of choice. Not by any means. But how the hell do you even get into there? You just can't cross past them.
These are the two players from Vitality that were struggling to get started on Lotus. They were like 1-8 or something to start the map. And now winning those clutches, playing those situations really beautifully. The aggression, I mean, the trade out through Mound is great because G2's plan was a pretty solid one.
Yep. Very tricky.
You see what it means there to Vitality. Careful with the PC.
Trust me, I've been abusing this desk. The monitors, they've been struggling to hold up. Don't want to be banging around a little bit too much, but Vitality being in this spot, I mean, listen, they're going to be casting their minds back not too far away, first half of this.
Yeah, exactly the same as the first half of Lotus. They were able to make the adjustments and they came out on top. Or at least they drew it level. I suppose I shouldn't say they came out on top. It was a 6-6 half, which would mean OT would be on the horizon here, just as it was on Bind. I don't think that that's an unrealistic expectation. I think it is possible for Vitality to come out with something like that. It's the final timeout here available for either of these two teams. Last chance for the coaches to get involved.
All out on for Lotus. Can mean the difference here for G2. Sort of nice and pretty, sealing it up 2-0. Eventually getting that rematch against EDG. I know they're hoping for it, they're hunting for it, but Vitality are a different beast, different caliber of team. You kind of need to be honest, to even just be in the top 4 here at Bangkok. But they themselves as representatives now for EMEA in this tournament.
It's going to be a triple fight from G2 over towards Mound. They've tried a bunch of different Mound fights. What's different here? Looking to try to take the engagement instead of tuck somebody behind the box.
One more player as well. Valance joined them.
Well, it's one more player until Leaf starts trickling off. Can't stay here too long.
Kind of broken. Ready to util. Potentially clear them out towards Mounds. Vitality.
I do like this though from G2. Early pressure over towards Mound. Make it feel like you're fighting that one on defense. And instead, the stack is now re-exploring B. They could hunt the lurker here.
Yeah.
Or are they just following the noise? It feels more like they're just trying to follow the noise and flood defend.
Still a minute roughly into the round here for Vitality to get the squeeze onto these G2 players. It's a slow burn, as you said.
Look at the call from Vitality going back over to Mound, the area that originally G2 were putting up the most resistance.
Very good.
They leave safe on A.
Safe will be hunting, hoping. Can potentially get that pick. Meanwhile, primed and ready to pounce. That's Vitality.
There's a paranoia here, and Leaf could open the door if he's feeling particularly bold. Safe gets away with it. They're going back into it.
Doors open. Doors open. Leaf's forwards. Leaf! God damn, man! Finally a bit of stray spam into the box, but time's running short, and Vitality, they've outthought themselves. They've run out of the options here. 5 seconds, barely enough to get this plant online, but they still need to deal with Safe and just drop down. No free shot. He knows he has to play his life here. Vitality, they go full speed ahead. Give up on the flanking play, and there's a pit in their face to deal and contest with.
The faster you go through the pit, the more chance of a spray down, though.
Testion already ordered up here from the Vitality players, up and over the top as well. Rebounds away, just dropping into the bodies. They're bumping into each other, man. Into the knives and into the fray. And a fight won out by G2, at least momentarily, but is it even planted for Safe? That is the question. Tucked to the corner. Salvos just can't quite get his body on it, man. G2. It's Jorgamo with full peace of mind that he's going to be defended into that spot. And that 11th round earned.
Safe. Couldn't get it done there towards the end. The time pressure onto Kicks had forced him to plant in a bad spot. He was worried about just getting it denied. Having somebody spam him through Waterfall, for example. So many pivots here, though. Vitality trying to call a really slow, intentional, intelligent attack macro and getting caught by Leaf, who'd pushed forwards behind the box. Leaf has been a monster this series. They're going forwards into a rubble fight. First one of the game.
Yeah, explosive. Not what we've been conditioned for, but as the curtain drops, so does Kicks. Dimensional drift in through the back as well. That was an evacuation attempt, and he got all the info that was necessary. 2 players immediately out of the picture and out of the fight here. Vitality It's going to be a scramble to earn your way back into this round. Round 20 for G2. They won that 12.
Does feel like the first nail in the coffin.
Pixel angle. Jonah P. Usually perfect on it. Trex and less to do it all.
Sometimes it can be much. You give the Vitality players a bit of space where they can walk forwards and isolate a one. But G2, they're known for being disciplined.
Paranoia, snakebite to respond. Trex, still of his own, waiting into his hand. Forced out into the open, and Zalifa takes that first contact. Skipping a hop straight into their face. Judge and play, and they know exactly where Les is. Another full defuse. They're min-maxing in a moment like this, man.
That's so good. Jonah P and Valen were talking about the first time they ever stepped on stage at a global event. They're reminiscing about Iceland, and they said, yeah, that time we choked a 10-4 lead against Optic. And they were thinking about it, they were like, is there really a way that we could have won that event? And they both decided, no, actually. The first time that we came to a global, there wasn't really any real world where we were winning that one. And now they said, whenever they qualify, they feel like they can win the trophy. And I think you're seeing that quality and that belief in themselves here today. They're on the verge, one round away from knocking Vitality down into the lowers, delivering them their first loss with this roster.
Almost unthinkable, I think, for a lot of people coming into this one. There's one thing I know about this Vitality squad. I'm going to be calling it quits until that round reaches 13. Be fighting for every single inch that G2 are willing to give them. Door opened up wide. It's a slow siege attempt at a round. Poking and prodding.
Locating target.
Hoping there's openings. Drone's going to be broken.
I have the spike.
G2 have a date. Upper bracket.
There.
Teleport taken from Jorgamo. The rest of Vitality grouping up over towards C. They have Steel Garden to be able to get in onto the site here. They know that Valen has mostly been anchoring.
Steel Garden. Good push back. I mean, listen, Valen can't quite run himself out of there, but it's going to be utility going to be used to try and push them back and away on top of it. Clone in their face. Have to try and contest and tango at least with that orb, and now it's more time for these G2 players. They're in through and out. Vitality have got to try and force the issue and take the fight forwards, but which direction do you face it in? That is the question. Smokes dissipating, util forwards, flashes are blinding them. And how do you stand your ground against this one? Spraying, praying, winning the day. Shots are fired. It's precise by safe, but he's running rampant and listen, flicking around all over the place. There's no safety to be found for him, but he concerted Durka deep onto the site. Dodges his way past most of the util. This is cheeky from him, and it's almost necessary as well, yet still Leaf wins it out. 3 versus 3. G2 trying their hardest to not be denied that chance, that date with Destiny, a rematch with EDG. The moments like this, Vitality, they're going to fight for every single possibility. Time ticking. Leaf's on the low ground. He's got to get a bit of a move on, and I think they've done it. Vitality have bought enough time. Still alive.
The plant position, much better this time. Not the same amount of time pressure onto Kicks, so he's able to pop that down in a better position. They even had a deep wall at Waterfall, smoke the cover. A much more composed approach to going for that C execute. Starting to figure out the way that G2 like to hold it with just Valen in the late round alone. 3 more, though, required of that kind of caliber to be able to get us into overtime. Trent is coming into this one, looking to try to close things out with only a Sheriff to his name.
They're expending everything, including the util at the beginning of this one. Rubble fight to be taken. Thorns dealt with. A weapon of choice for Trent, but might be able to do some work with it still. Odin spam, spraying away. Jonah P, he's going to get pressured now. He needs some bailout. Defense is ordered up, still Kicks his way ahead of it. Jonah P's been dealt with still. Spraying and praying, running rampant into the back of the side here. Jorgamo! Jorgamo! He's handed it. Target-rich environment. Potentially the nail in the coffin. Up and over the top. Information. It's granted. It's given over. And garnered. Armageddon forcing them out into the open. There is no comfort. There is no surviving. And G2 get what they want.
The first team to be able to take down Vitality 6-0 this year with this roster before G2 matched up against them in the opening round of Masters Bangkok. G2 learned from their loss against EDG and their struggles against Liquid, came out here all guns blazing. They were looking for revenge against Durka, who eliminated them at Champions, who took a trophy out of Jorgamo's hands in Tokyo, and they got it here. I mean, they kept him to mortal levels of impact.
It really did. Downplayed the kind of impact he's been having all over the Bangkoks so far. Take a bow, G2, you deserve it as well. They bounced back quite nicely, honestly, after the defeat and loss to EDG. Been a few series since then in between that, but as we mentioned, they get that dance once more. Them versus EDG is what they've been waiting for, playing for here. And a chance still for a trophy. This wasn't an elimination game at the end of the day. It wasn't really too high in terms of the stakes, but you got to imagine, you got to remember that every single win at this point gets you ever so closer to that potential of lifting a trophy.
And we get to see now whether they've truly learned in a specific way from that matchup against EDG. When we first saw them play against each other, we were talking about it being potentially a grand finals preview. Well, it's certainly going to be at least an upper finals preview. And Vitality are going to try to make the run back through the lower bracket. And if there was any team in this tournament that wouldn't be as affected by the map pool disadvantage, if indeed they do make it to a grand final, it would be Vitality. I feel like their map pool is probably the best out of all of the teams, but that wasn't enough to give them the advantage here today. In fact, even Safe playing significantly better than he has been, not enough for them here today. Outcalled, outgunned, outthought. G2 looks so good.
They truly do. They're coming into this tournament, honestly, cold. Feeling like they can win it all is the major difference, honestly, from back when they have attended international events before in the past. It's a different G2 here today.
At very minimum, G2 are going to equalize their best ever performance, right? Having made third place podium finish before at a global event. And this team is hunting for so much more. They got revenge on Durka today. They're looking for a revenge on Kung Kung tomorrow.
Oh my God!
What more does the future hold?
Two people can't play the game. Good shit, Trent. I don't know how you lived.
And still potentially up in the air, of course, with Bangkok, as we mentioned. Our games for tomorrow are all going to be decided in terms of how those shake out. Yet to be seen.
What a day from Leaf as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trent was kind of buying time in the first half of Bind for Leaf to come online. And what a performance he's had.
That conclusion, I think, for multiple narratives. Earning a bit of revenge, a chance of revenge as well, coming up next as well. We're going to be sending it down to the floor now as well for that Verizon post-match interview, and I believe we have the professor standing by.
A clean 2-0 for Team G2 against Team Vitality. I'm standing here with Zara and Jonah P to talk about it. Now, first of all, massive congrats, Jonah P. I mean, you guys just beat the EMEA super team, and it seems like you guys are growing stronger and stronger day by day. How do G2 keep beating these super teams?
สำหรับนะครับผมคำถามแรกคืออยากรู้จริงๆนะครับเพราะ G2 เนี่ยแบบไปได้สุดมากในเรื่องของประสิทธิภาพนะและ performance ของเขาหรือว่าผลงานที่ดีนั่นเองนั่นก็เลยอยากรู้ว่าทุกซุปเปอร์ทีมนะทีมรวมดาวของเขาอ่ะเขาสามารถชนะได้ไงครับ
I think the loss to EDG was a much needed loss. It sounds weird to say, but it was our first loss this year. So we took we took a lot of research from that game and to learn more about ourselves, and it's what we needed for today.
ก็สำหรับการพ่ายแพ้ EDG นะครับเป็นการพ่ายแพ้แรกของเขานะครับซึ่งเขาก็ต้องเรียนรู้นะแล้วก็ปรับใช้นะครับซึ่งตอนนี้เราก็ได้เห็นแล้วนะว่าเป็นยังไงกันบ้างครับผม
That was the stumble you guys needed. Well, speaking of EDG, you guys will be playing them again. Now, last time, Valorant kind of forgot that you guys won a map, but hey, you only need to win 2 maps to make it to grand finals. You think you can do it?
we're gonna have the rematch buff against them, so 100% we can do it. We love our friends at EDG. We're great friends with them. We always do content together, so it's gonna be a great game.
คำถามก็คือถามว่าเจอ EDG อย่างเงี้ยนะครับจำได้หรือเปล่าว่าต้องชนะ2แมปนะถึงจะชนะเกมนะเพราะครั้งที่แล้วไปชนะไปแค่แมปเดียวเนาะก็บอกว่าตื่นเต้นนะครับผมที่ได้เจออีกก็ต้องรอดูครับว่าผลงานจะเป็นยังไงต่อในแมตช์ต่อไปที่เจอ EDG ครับ
Alright, quick message over to EDG.
You guys are amazing. You guys are world champs for a reason, but unfortunately, a tier 2 team coming from Ascension is going to take you down this time.
และนะครับข้อความถึง EDG นะครับคุณคือแชมเปี้ยนครับคุณคือทีมที่ยอดเยี่ยมมากๆครับแต่น่าเสียดายนะครับว่าคุณน่าจะโดนทีมที่ขึ้นมาจาก Ascension โค่นล้มครับ
Alright, thank you, Jonah P. And I really loved what Valorant was doing on stage, so let's hear it one more time for Jonah P.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you, Jen Lee, for that. Of course, great to hear from Jonah P there as well. I love that when he said it, portion of the crowd was like, oh, and then they translated it, and the rest of the crowd was like, oh, snap. I love it. It's good drama across the board.
I love the way you've seen the confidence build for G2 over now the first and second year in the International League of Americas and coming to these global tournaments to be more willing to give it to people in interviews a little bit and also just seeing it on the stage here. A 2-0 victory over Vitality after that impressive map 1 comeback. Truly a statement for G2.
Absolutely. And even in this second one, right? Like there were some moments of brilliance that we were seeing from Vitality. We thought that maybe they could push this a little bit further, but they came back and they did it on style. And I cannot wait to see what they're going to have ready for EDG tomorrow. We revisited all the stories. Hopefully we get another banger. We get another 3-mapper, but we have a little bit more of the G2 that we saw today on that last map.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, of course, with day 6 of this competition coming to a close, here's your playoff bracket. And EDG and G2 will move on to our upper finals. And then in our lower semifinals, winner will move on to the lower finals. There will be T1 and Vitality.
That's another rematch.
And yes, it is. And we saw T1 today. Man, they were 2-3 rounds away from being in the position where EDG is right now. It's got to sting. But when you think about it, though, Kakuka, both of these teams, T1 and Vitality, certainly feeling these losses given how things shaked out, right? Vitality been undefeated throughout the start of the year. That's a stinging loss. And then T1 being only a couple rounds away from being in that upper final.
Yeah, absolutely. Now is the time to see if Vitality have what it takes to bounce back and do it in the shortest amount of time possible from today on to tomorrow against an opponent that you have already played up against. And for the first one is the one that I'm most excited for.
Jonah P said they needed the loss against EDG. I think it's a question of whether Vitality needed that loss today against G2. Like you mentioned, first series that they've lost thus far this year, undefeated to this point. But for G2, I know those guys are going to be hankering for the rematch against EDG. A lot of times you give a little favoritism to the team that lost the first time, having looked back on that game. But EDG, I mean, we were talking about it just before. They're a team that always plays the level of their opponent. They rise to occasions like this.
Oh, they truly do. We were discussing it before because I was like fascinated. I'm like, wait, I remember last season, EDG very much. When they wanted to get in the mud, they get in the mud. When they wanted to play like high-quality Valorant, they'll play high-quality Valorant.
It was muddy, and I think tomorrow they're going to need to lock in a little bit.
And what makes this matchup very fun for me in the EDG G2 match is that it feels like this G2 team has it looks exactly the same except for swapping out one player, but it feels like it's just a completely different team. So this is not going to be the EDG that, you know, they're familiar with, or sorry, the G2 that they're familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. And for example, they today changed that composition on Bind. Maybe if we were to see the same maps coming in tomorrow, we see a different face also from G2, more willing to not only learn from their mistake inside the game, but also outside of it.
And it is funny what he said there, that they're a tier 2 team from Ascension that's going to beat the world champions. I think that's so interesting because both these teams in their original cores came up at really the same time.
Yeah.
When G2 qualified to Masters Reykjavik 2022, that was still before we watched EDG play their first ever international match as a team. And that was, what, 3/5 of what the team, or wait, 2 out of 5 of who the team is today. But still that core of Valen, of Jonah, and of course Trent as well, so 3 that have been together for such a long time. versus in EDG, who has been on the come up in the same way, but have reached those heights of being a world champions, versus G2 that had to go down to Ascension and prove themselves.
It really does show you how the journeys, how all that really, when it combines together, it does feel like way too poetic, almost as if we wrote it in a script. But I promise we did it, you know. That being said, though, I do want to, at the very least, before we close things out, just touch on T1 real fast, because we haven't really had an opportunity to talk about them coming into this one, backs against the wall. But look, if I'm T1, I know that Vitality have all the pressure on them because they are the undefeated team. That is a crappy situation to find yourself in, losing in a moment like this when you've been clean all season long.
Absolutely. You're the only second seed that is remaining in the tournament. You're going against the strongest out there in EMEA. And also the match was, you know, there has some very close moments. I pray that tomorrow we get to see Fracture again from those two teams, because there were so many tells and so much to learn from it that I really want to see if in such short time they can change those things.
Stylistically, I do think it's a good matchup for Vitality. That got proved the first time around. They're a team that on their attack side takes things very slow. They default to a fault, maybe on the split against DRX in this last game against G2. But they do a really good job of like baiting out the trap plays, baiting out the aggression. And I think T1, with their double duelist comps that they play on 3 of their maps now, they go for a lot of those set plays, that aggro stuff. And I think Vitality does well, not just to match them pound for pound with the aggression, but to also just counter out those plays.
And also Sylvan is much more comfortable.
He was so
I believe
good
that
today.
exactly. And I believe that the first time that they played against Vitality was Scarpa still playing.
It was.
So we still have that change to be seen and how that is going to affect the match.
That's right. Well, you got a little bit of a preview of what is to come, but don't worry, we're going to be diving into all that and more tomorrow, right here, same time, same place for day 7 of Masters Bangkok. We thank you so much for tuning in. What a day it was. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy. And here we go as T1 makes their way out through the crowd here in Bangkok, ready to throw down against the world champions. A big opportunity for this Pacific squad to shock the world.
Good swing onto the corner. Easy is going to be good for a second. Let's get traded out. Smoggy able to find one Meteor. Way there in the corner. Just doesn't have a hope in health. Smoggy is just ripping people to shreds. Well, all of this chaos is happening in heaven. Smoggy is sending T1 to hell. They look to do it. Sylvan swings the corner, is able to find one, needing to ace clutch to keep them in the map. Avoids the phone line, swings back, finds one! Snaps on it, Smoggy! The Rolling Thunder also online. Stealth drone sent from nobody to check out towards me, but Chichu continues to be the final boss! The Heroics have a limit. EDG, the win for them on this map was inevitable. He's down to 34 HP, does manage to get the spike planted. Swing out from Buzz, wins the fight. Stun coming through, they want to flush him out, but Buzz, snappy to find them both! Sprays through despite the flash, he's still able to find one. Simon going to be put down. Izu now having to backpedal, so very low, but still finding 2 kills. Smoggy now with everything to do. His last teammate far too distant. 13-6, T1. They reply on bind. They get that win. And they send us the Pearl. Tagged up, taken down, as they have to try to flood forward. Coming in, Sylvan. There again, but Chichu, how has he come away with 2? This would be a monstrous round for EDG to try to get the win. Whoa! Chichu continues to work miracles. T1 wanting to up the pace here against the eco attempt. Simon gonna be the first to fall. Still has the Sheriff, but he will lose his life. Sylvan gets the transition. Gorgeous shots. Almost gets caught. Buzz on the entry, however, gonna be taken down. Chichu finding 2. Izu also taken out. Meteor falls to the wayside, and Chichu rips them to pieces. Said, this is my site, my tournament, my round. EDG take control. The defending world champions will not go quietly into the night.
It's going to be a banger. You got G2 going up against Team Vitality, who moves on to face off against EDG.
It's going to be stopping them in their tracks up and over, though. Not anticipating the Durka, just them trying to square up and take these fights. Durka, this guy, he's going to try and hold this one down. First line of defense. Oh my God, he might just be the only one necessary.
What an absolute beast.
Quick maneuvers though, G2 eager to try and take the fight through the back, and that stun does connect, but these damage done and bodies piling up into that direction. When here, the G2 players are showcasing, making sure that they double up. No ISO'd fights, yet less smoke. Still down, bit of safety to play in and just leaping into the fight. How are you going to save that off now? Are you going to try and fight and force the issue forwards with it? Kicks. He's want to take matters into his own hands alongside Durka. The time is of the essence and Kicks. He's got to get a move on. Got to get a move on. Gotta get a move on. But now damage done.
What a blow! What a sick opening blow for G2.
Bind is theirs.
And here they go.
Oh well, okay, Jonah P. No worries at all, man. Jonah P forced to reveal his hand. It's 3 in round 4. Will he kick the 4? Yes, he will.
Fowler sets him up.
The peek. Takes the peek and takes the shot. Wanted to see more from him. You're getting it here and now. Vitality are raring to go. They want to set this guy up for another one. Why not?
4 in the round for Circle.
Praying, running rampant into the back of the side here. Jorgamo! Armageddon forcing them out into the open. There is no comfort. There is no surviving. And G2 gets what they want.
The first team to be able to take down Vitality. 6-0 this year with this roster.
Financial goals. At Fidelity, we know that everyone's got them, and they're all different. But the one thing we share, we all want to get to them sooner.
Ah!
what's the point if I lose myself? Spend a couple days with nobody else, holding in my breath just to see if I can find you in my dreams. Oh, I'm getting tired of losing faith in everything I see. The beauty in the stars above have lost their hold on me. 'Cause I'm a sinner, I'm not the saint, a heart of a winner. So why do I turn away? Somewhere in the deepest blue, I will find you. 'Cause I'm a sinner, and God knows I'm born this way. Looking at myself like I'm someone else. I can't feel my pulse, better get some help. God, I feel so tired, I can't keep covering up my mental health. Oh, I'm getting tired of losing faith in everything I see. The beauty in the stars above have lost their hold on me. 'Cause I'm a sinner, I'm not the saint, a heart of a winner. So why do I turn away? Somewhere in the deepest blue, I will find you. 'Cause I'm a sinner, and God knows I'm born this way.
To another level. What you want? Tell me what it go to do. To another level. What you want? Show me the sign. Get it poppin', put it.
contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today, the competition continues and only 4 teams remain. The playoffs are here, and Sunday's grand final is fast approaching. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 6. For those of you who don't know Spanish, of Masters coming at you from the UOB live here in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm Golden Boy here with my co-pilots, people I love working the desk with. We got Kukuka and Mimi here today, and it feels like we're right back where we started at Champs last year. So it's good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a while. You've missed some actions, but we got the best of the best waiting for you, Alex.
It was great to just sit on my couch, watch the games, chill out, you know, have a cool bevy or two. It was a vibe. Mimi, it's nice to see you, though.
Yeah, same to you. Things are heating up now. I was down in... We're on like the 6th floor of a mall in the venue. First floor, they had like a whole night market thing with a bunch of Valorant themed activations, which is pretty cool. And now we've got some of the best games to come. It's very exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Bangkok, Thailand. If you have not had a chance to come out to an international event, by the way, you probably should. Because it's really fun. There's a lot of things that you can do here, and I'm sure we'll show them to you throughout the weekend. But let's go ahead though and recap what we saw the previous week, because we had the Swiss stage and we had 2 elimination matches as well. Let's talk about day 5, all the things that went down. T1 and DRX, as well as G2 and Team Liquid.
This is a huge disappointment for DRX. I think it's not a big ask to say that they kind of choked this game. They looked shaky in their match. They were making individual mistakes. They were missing trips. And while all that was going on, T1 leveled up, played with the utmost confidence, played together, and are somehow in the playoffs.
Absolutely, as you're saying, with a lot of confidence. And then on the second part, we had G2 versus Team Liquid. I know that it was a while ago, but we saw a little bit more of the G2 that we were expecting to see in the tournament. It was a much more evened out match, but in the end, they made it to the...
Listen, I'm a G2 stan, so your boy...
You've literally predded them like every game they've played, I think, for the last 2 years.
And baby, it ain't gonna change.
He's been right for the entire year so far.
I will tell you this much, though. I was sweating bullets, and I sweat normally, so you know it was like really crazy. G2, you're giving me a couple heart attacks over here. Let's take a look at the bracket and see what we got in store for us in this double elimination bracket. It's very important to note here, as we have our final 4 teams. The losers of these games are not out of the competition yet. They have another opportunity to punch their ticket to the grand finals, but these are going to be the matchups on the docket today. You couldn't ask for a better showing of international talent across all 4 regions in our sport. EDG, T1, and then on the other side you have Vitality versus G2. Yes!
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's cool how, 5 years into this game, we still have such regional parity, where 4 teams are in the top 4. They're all from a different
unique
international
identities.
league.
It's like a freaking anime come to life. It's so cool.
But there's also been some evolving, right? Like at some point, China was not making out of groups, and now they're on top. Like it's so good to see. It doesn't matter where you come from, you're gonna have someone to support.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But you know, let's actually. I think you have a game that you want to play.
Yes,
right?
so since you weren't here, Alex, and I did not want you to miss out on the fun, I actually wanted to test you a little bit. You said that you've been sweating bullets, right? So you've been watching, and
that means you're very up to date and knowledgeable, and you're gonna crush this quiz, right?
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
guys, I'm gonna be so good.
We have a small quiz. It's a segment that we've done in the past. It is time for 2 truths and 1 lie. I'm going to give you guys 3 categories, right? Within those categories, there will be 3 statements, and one of them will be an absolute lie. If you're watching from home, if you're watch partying, please play along and let's see if you can win this game. Nobody has ever won. This time, I've been a little bit more benevolent. No, the maximum that somebody has gotten is 1 right, and I think it was you.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Let it be known. I make them a little bit tricky, but it's good because it gives us some context, and I think it's a fun way to do a recap. So if we bring up the categories, please. Alex, I'm going to let you choose first. We have wise investing. That agent is OP, and I want that bracelet.
Let's do that agent is OP.
Okay, that agent is OP. Okay, let's see.
I'm excited.
The first statement is every single initiator has been played already. Okay, think of it, Mimi. The second one, Killjoy, has only been picked once in the entire tournament.
Okay.
And for the last one, we have every team has played Tejo in at least one map.
All 8 teams in the tournament or every team left?
All the this is a recap from our group, so every single team. Okay, Alex, you go first. Mimi, take it.
Chat, I'm gonna keep a buck
Which
50
one
with
is the
y'all.
lie?
I'm just sitting, watching, having some water. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. I'm not tracking this stuff. Okay, I will say the lie is probably going to be that Killjoy has only been picked once in this tournament.
Okay, you go for number 2, Mimi. What do you go for?
Oh, I think that one might be true. I think there might have been a team who did. No, number 2. I'm locking
Number 2, you both log number 2, and Mimi, you're so close to choosing the lie.